You gotta remember, stay strong, stick it out, and it takes time. Pressure makes diamonds. What's poppin', y'all? It's your boy Jay Michael. Welcome back to another video. So today I'm coming to you guys with another sit-down video. I told y'all I was for real. I told y'all I was gonna be coming in clutch with these sit-down videos. Today we're gonna be talking about 21 things I have learned in my 21 years of living on this earth. Baby, your boy been through some things. I done learned some things, okay? I don't know everything, but I did learn a little something, and I thought, why not share some lessons that I have learned on this journey of turning 21. I just recently had a birthday, as you guys know, and I decided, you know, why not go back to what I used to do back in the day and drop some knowledge for y'all. So that's exactly what I'm going to be doing today. So if you would like to, you know, kick back, relax, and just chit chat with me, make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, drop a comment down below, and let's hop into this video. Alright, y'all, so I have everything over here in my laptop as to, you know, what I'll be touching bases on today. So if you see me looking to the left, aha! That's what I'm looking at, okay? First things first, one of the main things I have learned out of everything, this is like one of my top, like if not top 3, top 5 lessons that I have learned. It is just never that serious. Like, it's never that serious. I feel like us as humans, we put a lot of emphasis on the things that just aren't serious. They don't really mean much. And we sit, we ponder, or we react, we get emotional over these things, when in reality, it is just not that serious. And when you have the mentality of, you know, it's just not that serious, you kind of just coast through life. You know, we are still human, I'm still human. So I still, you know, give a little bit more than I need to the things that just are not that serious. But when you actually sit back and assess whatever you're going through or assess whatever just happened to you, just ask yourself, is it really that serious? Like in a year or two from now, shoot, 3 to 6 months from now, is this really gonna matter? In a month from now, is this really gonna matter? Like, you gotta stop putting stuff like that into perspective, because at the end of the day, stuff just don't be that serious. So number 2, plans change. I used to be that person, I still am that person that likes to plan stuff out, but I don't get as thrown off course, I don't get as irritated when the plan doesn't go according to plan. You know, so life happens. Life be lifing sometimes. You can plan out whatever you feel like planning out, but sometimes life is just gonna happen. You know, I've planned out so many things over the past few years, and 9 times out of 10, what I have planned out didn't go as planned. You know, I always like to plan for the unexpected anyways, but still, even then, sometimes you can plan for the unexpected, and the unexpected that you thought was gonna happen is not what's actually happening. You know, life happens. Sometimes plans change, and you can't get irritated at that. Sometimes when your plans don't go how they're supposed to go, sometimes there's just a better ending that's awaiting at the end of whatever you done planned. Just relax, woosah, it's okay. Number 3, greatness, success, and longevity takes time. Now, I put this on my list for a few reasons. If you don't know, hi, my name is Jay Michael. I make music, I'm a creative, you know, I dental assist here and there. But when it comes to the artist part of my career, I definitely thought that, you know, I was gonna release my first single, Never Be. I dropped it July 15th, 2022. I definitely thought, like, you know, and this is just me being me, I thought I was gonna drop it and that was gonna be it, honey. That was gonna be my big break. It was just gonna be up from there. BET, where is my BET? Or what, like, I really thought that I was gonna release that song and that was gonna be it. But no, that's not the case. You know, we live in an era where a lot of stuff we do nowadays are just very popcorn. Very, put it in the microwave for about 30 seconds and ta-da, it's just ready. And sometimes you gotta realize, yeah, that happens, but if you really wanna stick around, you wanna be great at whatever you do, you wanna have longevity, you wanna be really successful and keep that success, you know, have generational wealth, you gotta stand your P's and Q's and just realize that all of that takes time. Think of all the greats, think of in any aspect, any field, any career, think of all of the greats, whether it's an athlete, a musician, you know, a doctor, the top of the top, the best of the best. It took them years to get to where they are now. It took them years to get to the top. It took them years to get all of the knowledge that they now have. It just takes time for you to grow, prosper, and become the best at whatever you're doing. No matter what, you know, we're human. And whatever we try, whatever we indulge ourselves in, we want to be the best at what we do. Whether you want to admit it or not, you want to be the best. In order to, you know, be the best or to be among the best, you just got to keep going. And despite, you know, the droughts, you got to remember, stay strong, stick it out, and it takes time. Pressure makes diamonds. Number 4, this one kind of relates to one of the ones I talked about earlier. Everything don't need a response. And for me personally, this just relates to, you know, my social media career, the social media world, rather. I see a lot of stuff, you know, in my comments or just on social media that I see that I may not like, I may not care for. And because I don't care for it, because it just, you know, doesn't need a response, I don't give it a response. I feel like a lot of times us as humans, we give a lot of things attention that we don't need to give attention to, especially when it comes to social media. You know, I get questions all the time that I don't want to answer, and it is what it is. People say negative things, they say mean, rude, nasty comments, and I choose not to respond because everything doesn't need my energy. I feel like as humans, we give, again, the most energy to the smallest things, and I feel like life would probably be a lot better for a lot of us if we just kind of shrug it off. And I shrug a lot off, but I don't shrug enough off. This is a lesson that I'm still actively learning and implementing in my everyday life. Everything does not need a reaction. Number 5, everybody ain't raised the same. Okay, this is something that I've learned very early on in my days of just living as a human being. Everybody is not raised the same, and you don't realize stuff like that until, you know, you start to explore the world, or maybe you meet people from, you know, different areas of the country, or you go to college, for instance. And I feel like when you go to college, baby, you go on campus and you're just around different people, especially when you're on a diverse campus like I was. University of Las Vegas, we had a little bit of everybody from all different parts of the world. We literally, well, I think it was ranked top 10 in the most diverse schools in the country or something like that. I never forget, my suite mates were so disgusting. So freaking disgusting, to the point where like the bathroom was like moldy. Now I don't know whether or not the bathroom was moldy because it was like an infrastructure reason, but they were dirty. The bathroom was always stinking because of their dorm. I had to curse them out a few times because they would leave stuff in the bathroom. They were just junky. You just never realize how people are raised until like you're put in an environment like that, or you grow older and you're just around different people. You interact with different people. You see how people treat their friends. You see how people talk about you behind your back. You just see a lot of things that, you know, you might not have been raised on, but other people have. And at the end of the day, you got to just say, okay, be okay with that and go on about your day. Don't pick up on those habits. You might be shocked. I take a lot of things people do with a grain of salt because I just have to remember, everybody ain't raised the same. I'm not as shocked when I see somebody who just, you know, they do something that, you know, I might not be too fond of, or I might not have seen, because that's just not what we did in our household. But you know, it is what it is. Different strokes for different folks, right? Right. Number 6, we need to take people for who they are. I have learned this lesson the hard way. Sometimes, you know, we think we know somebody and we don't. You know, they do a complete 360. They completely flip on you. They turn on you. And it does not feel good. But you got to realize that, you know, at the end of the day, that's who they always were. Whether or not that's not the person you thought they were, that's who they are. And you just got to take them for who they are. Whether it's, you know, a spouse, a relative, a parent, cousin, brother, sister, whatever. Sometimes you just gotta take people for who they are. Don't try to change them. Don't try to help them if they don't want help. If that's who they are, that is who they are. Take them for who they are, deal with it, say it is what it is, and either learn to go about life dealing with who they are or saying deuces. All right, so this next one. Sometimes it hurts more to keep holding on than to let go. Like, this is in relations to everything. I know a lot of times this can be related to a relationship. It could really go either way, from relationships to just a job. You know, sometimes it just, then to just let go. And it's not like a physical pain or, you know, anything like that. It could just be a strain on your mental. Maybe you tossing and turning at night because you got this job that you just can't stand, right? So you tossing and turning at night. Tossing and turning, can't go to sleep. Now you waking up the next day, you're groggy, you're irritated, you don't want to be at work because you're not happy. So now you suffering because you're trying to hold on rather than just letting go. It is what it is. I'm over it. Throwing up the white flag. It might hurt. You still might be going through it, but it won't hurt as bad. Now, this is not me telling anybody to quit their job or anything like that. I am just giving an analogy. You know, this can go in any aspect of anybody's life. A tie is a tie. Sometimes you just gotta cut that rope for you to really be set free and stop hurting. All the pain and all the suffering, it'll end. You just got to let go. Now, I kind of made a reference to this earlier. This next lesson, I'm still going through the motion. Pressure makes diamonds. As a celebrity kid, I feel like there's a lot of pressure on me to be great. I've touched base on this before. And sometimes I do feel like I'm gonna cry. I'm not gonna lie. And I feel like I haven't even seen the height of what it could possibly and potentially get to, because, you know, greatness just flows through my veins. I'm destined for it. So the pressure is only gonna get worse. I do my best to work under pressure. I move the best under pressure. And I realized that, you know, those moments when you're really severely under pressure, when you look back at it, they were needed. Because once you get on that other side of the wall, once you jump over that broom, the broom is the pressure. Once you get over that and you conquer it, you feel like you're on top of the world. And you realize that, you know, what you were under pressure for really wasn't that serious to begin with. You could do it. It was always in you. You just got to trust yourself and trust your gut. That outcome is going to tell you everything you need to know. Now, this next one is something that I've really liked, you know, implementing in my life once I really like grasped the concept of it. Taking negative energy and turning it into positive energy. I've really been implementing this in my life a lot lately, where I might be irritated or I might not, you know, feel the best. Okay, I might be a little irritated. I might not want to vlog, but I'm gonna make sure that I try to get some content done. You know, I'm gonna make sure I answer some emails. I'm gonna make sure that, you know, I do something that's content related. That way I'm not just, you know, kicking it and caking it in the bed. You know, I'm actually making use of my time. I feel like a lot of times, you know, we'll receive all of this negative energy, and instead of, you know, we're turning it back into the atmosphere and back into the universe as positive, we're just trying to do anything other than be negative. We put a weight down on ourselves. And I feel like when you really take the time or just take that energy and just turn it into something positive, when you feel better and you're able to still go on about your day. Okay, somebody pissed you off at 10 o'clock in the morning. You don't even want to do nothing no more. You don't want to go to the gym. You don't want to run your errands. You don't want to do nothing. You just want to get up in that bed. Well, I'm here to tell you, if you feeling like that, try to make yourself useful. Okay, you irritated. Go on and run. Get some of that serotonin, those endorphins, spread it into your brain. It's gonna make such a difference in your life. You can still get stuff done even when you feel like life is just falling apart all around you. You can still get stuff done if you feel like, you know, somebody's just spewing negativity into you. Take all of that, roll it up in a ball, and chuck that right back into the universe. I'm telling you, it's gonna help you out in the long run. You can't get to your manifestations, you cannot get to your blessings having a whole bunch of negativity around you. That's how you block your blessings. That's how you block all of the manifestations that you're trying to put into the universe. I'm telling you right now. Take all that negative energy, find something positive to do, put all that negative energy into that positive energy. I'm telling you. Now, this is one that took me a minute to learn. Comparison is your worst enemy. I found myself comparing myself to a lot of YouTubers when I first started, especially like during the COVID era. I really started growing, I'd say, like when I went out to college. That was like the time where I really started to grow, between like maybe the middle of COVID to like when I went off to college, and I had like that weird spell when I wasn't posting, but whatever. They were beauty influencers or vloggers, you know, more subscribers to me, less subscribers than me. I was always just comparing my channel, my content to somebody. When you do stuff like that, when you compare yourself to other people, one, you're focusing too much on the outside chatter. When you focus on everybody else, you don't have enough time to really focus on you and make sure that your ducks is in order. I had to realize, you know, you cannot get to the next level if you're worrying about what the next person is worrying about. That's like if you're running a race, you're running track, right? You running, and instead of you focusing on the finish line, you looking at everybody else around you like, ooh, oh, they gained up on me, oh my God, oh. Or you looking at the person who's all the way up at the front and you like, oh, dang. Instead of you just focusing, having a clear goal set in mind that you can try to get to, and just focusing on that. When you sit here and you start comparing yourself to all these different people, now it's like, oh my God, I don't know who I am no more. It's like, oh, I'm comparing myself to this person who has 500K and I might have, you know, 10K. Now I don't know who I am. I don't know what direction I'm gonna go on my content. And this is not just with content creating. I'm just saying, when it came to my time on YouTube, this is something I dealt with heavy. It took me being realized by my favorite YouTubers at the time, and I still watch her to this day, Leah Simone. She included me in one of her videos. I think it was like 50 black owned brands that you should tap into or whatever. whatever, and my YouTube channel happened to be one of the black owned businesses that she included in the video. And from there on out, I was like, you know what, comparison really is your worst enemy, because I'm sitting here comparing myself to all these people when in reality I didn't even know that the person that I binge watch 24/7 that I've been keeping up with for I don't know how many years now, they know who I am. And I gained hella subscribers off of that, and from that moment on I was like, you know what, I am the sugar honey iced tea. I had to puff my chest out a little bit. I'm like, I am the sugar and the iced tea, because at the end of the day, I'm gonna get recognized by people who I watch, who I love. If you're out there comparing yourself to somebody, quit it now. I'm telling you, please quit it. You will not get to whatever you're trying to get to, whatever end goal you're trying to get to, compare yourself to the next. Stay focused, keep your eye on the prize. I'm telling you, comparison is your worst enemy. Number 11, you gotta trust the process. You might not want to be in the situation that you're in right now, but baby, trust the process, because you might have to stick it out for a little bit. You might have to do stuff that you don't want to do to get to where you'd like to be at. You gotta trust that process. We see it every day when people do makeup. Trust the process, okay? I've been put in so many situations where I've doubted the journey. I've doubted what goes into whatever I'm doing, not knowing that, you know, you gotta trust whatever you're doing and put trust and have faith in whatever you're doing. You trust that process, baby, I guarantee you at the end of whatever you're doing, you're gonna be like, yeah. I'm glad I trusted that process. Now this next one is one of my favorites. Do not speak on stuff before it happens. Do not speak, I repeat, on stuff before it happens. And what I mean by that is like, okay, you get an email and you get a good opportunity. I'm not saying you can't tell like your parents, maybe a brother, a sister, a relative or two, but going online, blasting it to the whole world, and it doesn't happen yet, and then it don't happen, and now you out here looking like boo boo the fool. It's like you should have just kept your mouth shut to begin with. I've learned this because I've made that mistake of like putting stuff out in the open, and then it don't happen, and then, you know, you just don't talk about it again. But you know, it is what it is. You wouldn't have to, you know, not talk about it again if you just didn't talk about it to begin with. Again, if you want to, you know, tell your mom, your brother, your sister, your cousin about it, you can, but just don't go blasting it on social media, you know. And I feel like that's also how you kind of block your blessings. Okay, you go on social media and you talk about this opportunity that hasn't really came to fruition yet, but it's maybe at the beginning processes, and you're like, okay, yeah. Now you got people out here, you got haters, you got people who just praying on your downfall. And now whatever you had going on, it ain't happening no more. I'm not saying this because you put it out in the open, but you don't put it out in the open and you got people who praying on your downfall. You know, the power of the tongue is real. And if you got real deal haters, the proof is in the pudding. If I was you, I would lock it and put it in my pocket. In order to grow, you must step out of your comfort zone. Get uncomfortable. I have grown the most in situations where I have been super duper uncomfortable. Whether that's, you know, in my dental career, whether that's in my singing career, any situation that I have been put in that has made me slightly uncomfortable, I have grown from it. You will not grow if you are not put outside of the box that you are always in. And that's just what it is. You can't grow doing the same old tricks. You can't grow having the same old rules. Sometimes you just gotta step out of your comfort zone. Get out the box. Think outside the box. You gotta do things a little bit different. Repetition is always a good thing. Sometimes you need to switch it up a little bit. Switch it up. Have fun. Have different outlooks on different things. I'm telling you, you might be a little bit scared. You might be a little bit fearful. It might feel a bit weird. Yes, because you're in an uncomfortable situation. You're in a totally different headspace. When you're in an uncomfortable situation, your headspace is a little bit different. You're in your head, you're thinking a lot, you're like, ooh, is this really a good idea? You gotta trust your gut again and stick that uncomfortable situation out. When you're at the end of whatever uncomfortable situation you're in, whatever uncomfortable predicament you are in, look back and see if it was worth it or not. 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be worth it. And I'm talking about an uncomfortable situation where it requires you to grow. You don't get to the next level by playing it safe. You don't get to the next level by not taking risk. When you take risk, you get uncomfortable. A lot of times that uncomfortableness and those risks pay off. Number 14, everything happens for a reason. This is something that I've become really content with. I used to get really irritated, really agitated when things would change, when things wouldn't go my way. But you gotta realize there's a reason why something isn't supposed to happen. Everything has its purpose. Everything has its meaning. Sometimes things just aren't meant to be. And you gotta be content with that and realize that it probably happened for a reason. There have been times where I've been driving or I was supposed to drive somewhere and something prohibited me from getting to my journey. Say I'd be I don't know, driving on the highway and maybe I miss my exit, or maybe, you know, I take the exit but I make the wrong turn. I always look at it as, okay, maybe I missed a turn, but maybe I wasn't supposed to go down that street. Maybe at that time, you know, if I did go down that street, I would have gotten an accident. Or, you know, something would happen to my tire. You know, you just never know. I started looking at stuff like that rather than just get mad, getting irritated, because it's like, at the end of the day, you can't control anything that happens in life. Yes, to an extent, but for the most part, you can't control life. Life be life sometimes. It is what it is. You can't control it all the time. Sometimes things are just meant to be. Sometimes things happen, and when those things happen, you just gotta realize, you know what, it was meant to happen. It was meant to be, and it is what it is. Hey, what can I say? Number 15. All money ain't good money. I'm gonna keep this one short, sweet, and straight to the point. All money ain't good money, okay? Don't sell your soul for a coin. Don't lower your morals for no coin. Don't put your pride aside for no coin. Don't do nothing that is outside of your character for no coin, okay? Money is the root to all evil. Keep that in mind. So no, you don't need to be doing nothing strange for no change. Don't get caught up doing something you ain't supposed to do because you're trying to get to the bag. Now this is a new one for me, okay? This is something that I have been saying, and it's something that has been keeping me in check. Consider the source. Somebody's saying something negative about you, consider the source. Positive, consider the source. You feeling irritated, consider the source. I feel like when you start considering the source, you start really realizing, okay, is this something that I really need to give my energy to? Somebody say, okay, somebody don't like your shoes, consider the source. Is it really somebody you need to be getting worked up over? Somebody on social media said that they didn't like your outfit. They calling you ugly. Consider the source. Do they have 0 followers, 0 posts, and 0 following? No profile picture, no bio, name say John Doe. You know, like, I feel like you just need to start considering the source. That would help a lot when it comes to people retaliating and responding to certain things. If you just consider the source and see where the comment is coming from, who the action is coming from, I just think that it just makes life easier when you consider the source. I mean, for me, I know like when I was working at my old job, there was just one coworker who just always irritated me. And, you know, I would really just have to consider the source when it came to certain things that she either did and or said. Like, just consider the source. Remember who this is coming from. And when I just remembered who I was dealing with, where it was coming from, who I was talking to, there was really nothing to get upset about. Sometimes, again, you just got to take people for what they are, take the situation for what it is, and just go on about your day. Consider that source, and if it's not something that really needs to be considered or be taken into consideration, that's your answer right there. Number 17, live in the now. This is something that I have had to learn over the past few years as being a content creator. I feel like a lot of content creators deal with this, is trying to live in the now. You always have a camera with you. Vlogging has become very prevalent over, I'd say like since COVID, vlogging has become very prevalent. It was prevalent before then, but it wasn't as like popular as it is now. I feel like as a content creator, I've been on YouTube for I think like 7 years now. So I always having a camera around, a camera in my face, having to worry about the camera, capturing different moments. A lot of times, you know, I forget to live in the now. You know, as a content creator, as a YouTuber, you just forget to really soak up whatever experience that you're currently living in. Sometimes you just forget to put down that camera because you're so focused about picking that camera up and getting that content. You want to get that footage. A lot of times, you know, sometimes I don't vlog when I go certain places. Sometimes, you know, I do want to take the week off because why? I like to live in the now. I'd like to really live in the moment. A lot of times you can't live in the moment when you're focused on a camera or trying to get footage or taking pictures. You don't get to live in the moment because you're just worried about all the different things that you got to take care of, all the different things that you got to do. You end up missing some of the best moments of your life when you're not able to live in the now. When you're always hyper focused on what you're about to do, what's the next business venture, what's the next job opportunity, where I'm gonna get this money from next. There's always that possibility of you missing out on a really, really good experience because you're always just trying to focus on what's next, what's in the future, or even what's in the past. Baby, forget all of that and live in the now. Stop being so hyper focused on what's next and just live in the now. I kind of touched base on this just slightly earlier. You need to keep going even throughout those droughts. I feel like being a creative, I've seen some of the highest of the highs and I've seen some of the lowest of the lows. Being a content creator is like a profession. This is not something that you should enter with the mindset of, ooh, I'm finna blow up. Ooh, I'm finna make this money. Because month to month, day to day is different. Your analytics could be up here one month. You see it's not even in the frame because that's how high it is. And it can be all the way down here the next month. It just depends. You gotta be willing to stick it through and still be putting out that fire content even when you feel like nobody's watching. Even when you feel like that algorithm ain't algorithming. When you feel like it ain't on your side. You need to keep going and you need to keep pushing. I'm telling you, that hard work, grinding, long, hard nights with no sleep, I'm telling you, it's going to pay off. Drought or not. You gotta keep pushing through that drought. When you have that drought anyways, you really see who's down and who's not down. Because if somebody's gonna check for you, they're gonna check for you regardless. Okay, your business, your channel, your social media might be in the drought. Okay, that's cool, that's fine, that's dandy. Focus on those people, that core audience that is still tuning in. Focus on building a good, heavy relationship with them. It's all about building a connection, that parasocial relationship. It's not the healthiest, but it's a way to build an audience. It's a way to really grow a connection with whoever's shopping with your business, whoever tuning into your videos, whoever is listening to your music. Build an audience with your core fan base. That drought is really gonna tell you who's there and who really ain't there. If I'm banging with you, I'm gonna bang with you and I'm gonna check for your stuff regardless if you hot or not. There's always something better at the end of those dry spells. He up there is always gonna reward you for getting through those tough times. Those tough times being the dry spells. You just gotta stick it through. And I've seen more dry spells have more droughts than the Sahara Desert. Number 19, it takes time to heal. Coming from somebody who is still healing. I have been through some things, some traumatic things over the past few years. And you know, it changed who I am as a person. Some for the worst, some for the better. And I think that I'm growing up to admit that. You're not gonna heal overnight. I feel like as humans, we try to bottle up emotions, just try to move on to the next. Yeah, we might be going through some things, but we don't wanna deal with it. You just wanna, bottle it up, carry on about your day, and keep it pushing. But you do that not realizing that you have a lot of stuff that just seeps to the subconscious mind. So yeah, you're not thinking about it until it builds up and you can't take it no more and it just explodes. You don't want to be like that. Get help, get therapy, and just realize that stuff like this takes time. It takes time to heal. It takes time to become a better you, a better person. It takes time to grow, glow, and heal from the within. You can heal on the outside, but it takes a different level of opening up and doing some soul searching to really heal the inside. Healing ain't healing if that inside ain't healed. You can look as pretty as you want on the outside, as made up as you want to look on the outside, but if that inside ain't healed, it's gonna show like a mug. Number 20, this is my favorite one. What happens in the dark is always gonna come to the light. I'm just gonna keep this short and sweet. Sometimes people do you wrong. Sometimes you're put in situations that just aren't for the best. And many people may not know. Many people may not know about the characters of the people who were involved, whether it's for anybody's good or not. Anything that happens behind closed doors will always creep up on you. I'll leave that at that. Number 21. This is the last one, and you are what you surround yourself with. Whether it's the type of people you surround yourself with, the type of things that you're indulging in, your environment, you always become who you surround yourself with. That's why I like to always surround myself with like-minded people, people who are very goal-driven, people who have something going for themselves, because that pushes me to keep going. That pushes me to continue to try to get to the next level. That pushes me to get to the bag. You surround yourself with somebody who does nothing but drink all day, lay around, they don't got no job. Now you think it's cool to just drink all day, lay around, and now you got fired because don't nobody you hang around got no job. All y'all do is get together, go play games, maybe make some plays. Like, you gotta surround yourself with people who got something going for themselves. First of all, iron sharpens iron. And if you are the smartest person in your friend group, or you are one of the only people in your friend group who got something going for themselves, baby, you might need to find a different friend group. You might need to surround yourself with some different people. Because if the people around you don't make you want to go harder in life, you're not around the right people. I like to surround myself around people who got stuff going for themselves, whether it's music, they in school, doing their thing, getting a degree. I'm not gonna surround myself with nobody who don't got nothing going for themselves. Don't got no job, don't got nothing. You don't have nothing. You don't got nothing going for yourself. You cannot surround yourself with people like that and expect to do great in life. That is just not how it goes. Again, iron sharpens iron. You need people doing better than you or doing just as good as you to bring that energy of wanting to do better, wanting to be greater, wanting to do greater things in life. If you surround yourself with people who just are subpar, you become subpar yourself. You might not think you can do the impossible because you're surrounded by people who are small-minded. They don't have the ability to think outside the box. They don't have the ability to think that the sky is the limit. Don't surround yourself with people who are closed-minded. Don't surround yourself with people who are small-minded because that will hinder you. And you don't need that. You don't need that at all. Alright, y'all, so that is the end of this video. I hope you guys all enjoyed. I dropped a few gems. I really enjoyed doing this video. Kind of took me down memory lane because these are genuine lessons that I have learned over, you know, the course of as long as I can remember. So a lot of these lessons do have a core memory behind it, whether I shared it or not. You know, I like to spare a little bit of knowledge for the girls and gays out there. You know the vibe. Yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys like this video and subscribe to my channel. Comment down below some sit-down video ideas you guys would like for me to do. Follow me on my socials, my Instagram, my Twitter, and my TikTok. All that jazz is at JayyeMichael. If you see me anywhere else, 9 times out of 10, it's not me. So don't get scammed because you know people is getting good at scamming these days. I love y'all and I will see you guys at my next video. Peace, y'all. Thank you.